this is like my 26th year in the field of education. If you count all of it, I've been working with kids since I was 18 years old. So if you count that, being a playground supervisor, then it's like 30 years I've been working with students. And that's a long time. That's an extremely long time. And I guess one of the reasons why I work in the field of education, work with kids, is because I want to make a positive impact on the lives of the children that I serve. It's always weighed heavy on my heart. It's always weighed heavy on my heart to make a difference in the lives of youth. You know, it's always been there. And I started working at the Pico Union area. I worked at the Pico Union area as a Catholic school teacher, a first grade teacher. I was 22 years old when I first started. And it was a great experience. I loved it. Working at a Catholic school we went to mass. It was a whole different experience. And then I got into public school education, and I've taught all kinds of grades 3rd, 5th, middle school. I was a dean of students at a high school, Spanish school. I've taught all kinds of different grade levels, but the same thing, the same drive, the same mission, the same purpose is to positively influence the lives of kids, of youth. And then especially the students with the most difficult behavior. That's weighed on my heart so much, because I feel like a lot of educators write these students off. A lot of educators just want to get rid of these type of students, and that's not, that hasn't been the case for me. For me, it's been like, okay, let's teach these students. These students don't have these skills that maybe they need. They weren't taught how to respect, how to be responsible. Let's teach them those skills, right? Communication. They don't know how to communicate, but let's show them how to communicate properly, right? I feel like that is missing. That is missing in the field of education. I always talk about building relationships with students with difficult behavior, because I feel like people don't know how to build relationships with students with difficult behavior. I feel like they don't. And a lot of that building relationship stuff, isn't about you having a good personality, isn't about being the funniest, being the most, tall. But it doesn't matter. Those attributes don't matter. What does matter is keeping students safe. If you could keep students safe, where their physical bodies feel safe in your classroom, where they feel like they don't have to protect themselves, where they feel like they can communicate in your classroom, that their opinions and their ideas won't be made fun of, right? Where you establish clear procedures, clear rules in your classroom, right? Students know, the procedure of how to enter your classroom, how to exit your classroom. Students know, that there's a rule that one person talking at a time, or whatever it is, you have clear procedures in your classroom. That's keeping the classroom safe, and that's building relationships. Because if I feel like my safety is in my own hands now, then I can't focus on learning. I can't focus on learning because I'm worried about my safety. I'm worried about keeping myself safe. And so if I'm thinking like, man, I gotta watch my back in this classroom, I gotta be careful. Now I can't focus on learning. And so if the educator of the room can keep safety, well, now we're talking. Now we're building relationships. Because I feel like this guy right here in this classroom, this woman right here in the classroom, she has my back. She's taking care of me. I can focus, right? And then the next part, I always talk about this relationship part where it's demonstrating love, like the biblical type of love. Like love is patient. You need to be patient with your love is kind. Love is forgiving. Love doesn't hold grudges, right? All of these Sunday school things that we learned growing up, it's applying that. Be patient with your students. Be kind. Be forgiving. Don't hold grudges. It's a new day, right? Kids are gonna mess up. Kids are gonna mess up, and it's just part of life. That's what happens. You messed up. I messed up. We all messed up, right? We can't hold grudges. It's a new day. Turn the page, right? So if we just keep safety and we demonstrate love, now we're building really good relationship with students. And we didn't have a secret handshake. We didn't give prizes or treats to build these relationships. All we did was keep safety and demonstrate love, right? You're solid now. You have a solid foundation. The final piece I always talk about is you got to boost up your students' self-esteem. You got to celebrate their wins. When you see progress, you got to point that out to your students, right? When they make improvement, point it out, celebrate it, right? When they went from a 50% to like a 60%, that's a win, right? Point out the wins for your students, right? Boost up their self-esteem. You do those things. Now you're talking. Now you're building up these relationships, and especially if you build these relationships with students with the most difficult behavior. Because if you could win them over, then you're going to be able to win the whole class over. Because really, they control the classroom. They could control the classroom if you let them. And you don't want to go to war with them every single day. You need them as an ally, right? And if you get them on your side, then the whole class starts to fall in line. The whole class starts to fall in line. And now you're going to have a good year.